Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Wealthy Legacy Journeyers, to the Wealthy Legacy Journey, the show where we talk about building wealth on purpose for a purpose. I'm your host, Kendell Liden, and the title of today's episode is The Wealthy Legacy Journey Just Turned One. Woohoo! So exciting. I love having you guys here. I've loved doing these episodes. I was just telling somebody today that recording these podcast episodes, doing this show has really become a part of my life. It's helped me to better understand the principles that I'm learning from different books, such as Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. As I take it, I ingest it, I try to understand it, then I speak it out loud and work to teach it. It only helps me to understand it more. And I hope that through these shows, I'm helping you to understand what it looks like to build wealth, right? To do the right steps, to do the right things in your life, to live a life full of purpose and going towards a great direction. So you can ultimately build wealth and have the freedom in your life to do what you feel like God has called you to do, what you've been put on this earth to do. Don't just get stuck in a mundane job, but live a life, work a life of purpose. High level overview of some of the cool things we're going to be talking about in today's episode. Uh, some of the cool goals that we're coming up on, some sad goodbyes, but happy hellos for some different products that we're looking at swapping in and out. Some of the cool prayer and actions that we've been working on lately. And just at the end, it's just awesome quotes that we're going to talk about for some different authors that I've dug into this week. But to start off with, this exciting news is we've officially crossed the 1 year mark, and I'm so proud. I feel like the Wealthy Legacy Journey is my little baby that's now 1 year old, and I should know what it's like to raise babies because I got three of them under the age of 5. I had to think about that for a second. 4 and under. I'm working on not saying if any of you ever hear in any of the episodes me say just call me out in it because I don't want to see the negative comments in the comments. And so when I see that, like, ooh, I said I'm gonna remember, stop saying Libby and I have some really cool content planned, a really cool episode, little mini series that we want to put together once we cross the 6 figure mark over the next couple of months. And so to kind of give you guys an update for things that are happening, NK Legacy Properties, as of the end of the month of May, should be fully in the green, which is really exciting. And basically everything else from here on is going to be pure profits. We've got a couple more lots that are going to be selling. That's really exciting. We have our first tax sale just hit the market yesterday that we did. We got back in March. We put 13, I think after surveys and some other different stuff that we paid, we're in a little over $14,000 into that lot. We just listed that for $46,000. We're looking ahead to the June tax sale of what we're going to be able to put in for that. We're going to be getting some money from the lots that we're selling out of NK in June, and then we're looking for the bigger payouts on the lots that are selling after this because everything will be in the green and it's just going to be cash flow positive, which is very exciting. So once we hit the 6 figure net worth mark for ourselves, Libby and I have a little mini series that we're going to put together for you guys, just explaining of what this journey has looked like over the last, like almost 6 years now. The highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the ugly, what we do again, what we would try not to do again, what we learned worked, what we learned that didn't work, what we learned about each other, what we learned about being a couple trying to take on being entrepreneurs, all this kind of stuff. Very excited for that episode coming up. We're going to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into putting that episode together and then also creating it, delivering it to you guys. So one of the sad goodbyes that we did was this week I created the final video for Double Dare Your Money. Now, exciting thing about that is from our low to the ending, to the final point that we had, we were at $12 and some change. The high point was 80 something dollars. We had a 575% gain from the low to the high in just 2 months, which is incredibly exciting. But as you guys know, we had to sit back and examine what are we doing in life in between the move and the 3 kids and being married and having the day job and building our own wealth, doing the tax sales and doing all this other kind of stuff. We just realized that we had to put a pause on something in our life, a couple somethings, and we sold the farm. We decided to stop doing the Double Dare Your Money for now, 0 to 1,000 and 1,000 to 10,000, because we are really focused on the $10,000 to $100,000 bracket for our own wealth. We'll be moving into the $100,000 to $1 million bracket after that. Then I want to turn around and build 0 to 1,000 and 1,000 to 10,000 once I'm out of a job and I'm able to really focus on that, because I'll be building multiple brackets at one time. I don't want to lose sight of where my goal and my purpose is for my family. I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. Don't try to tackle multiple of the brackets at the same time. Just take on one bracket at a time, the next right step. So this is the next right step for my family. We're going to build out some of the upper brackets, and we're going to come back and build those lower brackets. To be honest with you guys, though, I left Double Dare Your Money more excited about it than whenever I started it, simply because in doing Double Dare Your Money, I realized that, wow, if I could see a 575% gain in 2 months, that's absolutely incredible. Imagine what we could do if we were fully focused to it, fully committed to it. I was able to give it a considerable amount of time, energy, and effort, because if I'm doing it full time, I'll be able to give it a couple hours a week. Just as if you were solely focusing on a single bracket, I give the $10,000, $100,000 bracket all the time that it needs, because that's where my wealth is currently sitting. So that's where my time, energy, and effort really goes. But I've also had another thought of, how do I build the wealthy legacy journey right? Because I want to build a powerful company that's able to help people, bring a lot of value to people, impacts a lot of people. So how do I build that brand in such a way to be able to deliver that? So this is kind of the exciting news that's coming up. I'm thinking about writing a book, and there's going to be some people that might go, wait, Kendell, you sold your farm, you're selling your house, you stopped the Double Dare Your Money 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 10,000 to simplify life, and now you're telling me you're going to write a book? But trust me here, this whole building of this business is like a massive chess game in my mind. And so I'm trying to really evaluate the board and go, what piece needs to happen first in order to get us to that place of success, right? It's that 4 steps of success model. Where do I want to go? Where am I at right now in relation to where I want to go? What are the steps it's going to take to get from here to there, and then do the next right step? As I move forward, I realize that, I took this step, but I think I need to step back and do this first before I can conquer that one. So I really started looking at, if I launch Double Dare Your Money, what am I going to launch it off of the back of? And I just couldn't answer that question very well. I'm super passionate about the project, but why would anybody want to come listen to what I put together at Double Dare Your Money? Like, what's going to really fire people up? But I realized, if I write a book about how to build wealth and what I've learned through it and what I'm gaining from all these different books, like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Good to Great by Jim Collins, EntreLeadership, and the Financial Peace University stuff from Dave Ramsey, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and How the Rich Get Richer by Robert Kiyosaki, and lots of other amazing authors that we're going to dig into for the book. The Changing World Order, I think is what it's called, by Ray Dalio, is one of the books. Tons of awesome content that I want to go through for the book reports anyways. What if I could bundle all that together? And then what if, once that was bundled in an easy to consume and read manner, well, then what's going to happen is I'm going to get the authority from all of those writers that I've included in the book. And also, now I've written something that other entrepreneurs are going to be really passionate about and want to talk about. And I'm going to be able to do interviews, which is going to help grow the ecosystem, to grow the following of the Wealthy Legacy Journey, which means that I get to serve more people, which is honestly the thing I'm most excited about over everything else, is being able to serve the most amount of people at the highest level possible. That's what excites me. Like, that's why I love being a youth pastor. And that's what I love about the Wealthy Legacy Journey. I feel like I enjoy the investing because it's a fun puzzle to solve, but I love helping people. And this is a way I get to do that. So a cool quote, though, that I heard from Myron Golden this week, he said, you might not like how you look, but you need to put how you look out there, because people need to be able to recognize you, because personal brands succeed bigger than business brands. And I realized that I need to fight against the ageism that's screaming at me in my mind, that I'm too young and I don't look authoritative enough to be able to put out a book or talk about this stuff. But I realized, hey, here I am, praise the Lord, a 20-something-year-old where I've hit 6 figures 3 times. I think I hit 6-figure net worth the first time, might have been like 21, 22. Second time I hit it, I was probably 24. And now I'm going to hit it again when I'm 25, 26, something like that. I think that's the breakdown. Libby knows those dates way better than I do. When we do the cool, like, little mini series that we're working on, once we cross the 6-figure net worth mark again, you're going to get a lot more insight from that, because Libby, she knows her dates. I could be like, hey, what was I wearing 2 years ago on this day? And she can almost tell me. It's crazy. One cool thing, though, speaking of my wife, that she said this week that I thought was absolutely amazing. I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought you guys need to hear this. I needed to hear this. was so good. We were talking, we are having this conversation. She said, people just need to stop praying for a miracle while doing nothing about it. And we were talking about somebody's situation. There was one person with like a financial situation. There was one person with a health situation. We were praying about some stuff, talking about this. And she said, instead, we need to pray for a miracle while getting involved to make our miracle happen. If you don't know anything about me and Libby, we are absolutely go getters, doers. Praise the Lord. He has given us a lot of help and grace as we've gone and gone and done. But it is so crucial to not just sit there on the sidelines and go, Lord, would you please help me? I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to sit here on my couch. I just want you to deliver to me an absolutely amazing miracle. It does happen. But getting out there and putting action behind your faith is absolutely powerful. There's so many examples of this in the Bible. There is the time when Jesus told the man who was lame to get up and walk. He had to put action behind the faith, get up and go walk, right? What about the time when God told Moses, in order to heal the people who were getting, I think they were getting bit by serpents and dying, he had to make this like golden serpent and wrap it around a cross, which was eventually going to represent Jesus dying on the cross. There had to be some serious, like, is this idolatry? Like, people going to look into the eyes of the snake and be healed? It's this crazy story that points towards Jesus, but people had to have faith to go up to this snake in order to be healed from getting bit from the serpents. And the serpents came in the wilderness because of some disobedience. But neither here nor there, it took them putting action behind their faith to see the miracle happen. So let me give you some examples. Libby and I, we prayed for the Lord to sell our home quickly and for top dollar. But what was the action we put behind that faith? Well, we did a lot of work on our home for 3 weeks straight to make it look absolutely amazing and do everything that we could when we listed it to be able to have success. What's another prayer that we've been praying? Lord, please help us to get out of this feast or famine cycle of being an entrepreneurial family, because it's not fun. What is the action steps that we took? We read some books, we straightened out our finances, we set new goals with definitiveness of purpose, and we continue to find ways to deliver lots and lots and lots of value to the world around us. We're doing that through investing, right? When we bought this tax lot for $13,000, we provided value when we paid the surveyor to survey it for us. That cost us about $1,000. We provided value to a photographer when we paid him $100 to take some photos, some aerial shots for our piece of property. We provided value to the county because now that piece of property is back out in circulation so they can collect property taxes on it. We provided value to a realtor who got to list it, and eventually when they sell it, they're going to be able to make money on the commissions. There's also going to be able to be a buyer's agent who's going to be able to make money on the commissions from this piece of property. There's going to be a homeowner that now gets to, or a land buyer who's going to be able to purchase this piece of land and utilize it however they see fit. We were able to take this piece of property and insert it back into the economy of the town of Palestine, Texas, so it can be utilized for growth in the community. Lots of ways that we were able to provide value through investing. I provide value for people in a whole different way through the Wealthy Legacy journey by taking information and content from other people, taking the experiences that I've been through and delivering it to you guys. So I want to ask you right now, what is your prayer right now? If we're looking at the 4 steps to success model, which is 3 questions and 1 answer, usually this is that first question. Where do you want to go? Most people have this where do I want to go right now in their mind, and they're praying, Lord, would you please take me here to this place? So answer that question. That's your big goal. That's probably your big prayer. Second question I would ask you though is, what is the action step you can personally put behind that prayer to make that prayer happen, or at least help push in the right direction? How can you put faith behind your prayer? 4 steps to success, to remind you guys. Step number 1, question, where do you want to go? Step number 2 is, well, where are you at right now, especially in relation to that goal? Step number 3, what steps is it going to take to get from where you're at to where you want to go? And then step number 4 gets super simple. It's an action step. It's simply do the right next step. If you haven't watched episode 1 of putting the book together, by the way, I don't think I mentioned what the title was, The American Dream or Lie, where we get to go through, dig in, and decide for ourselves, is the American dream still a dream worth pursuing, is there a lie that we should just leave behind and forget because it's almost impossible for us to build wealth today? What is the truth behind that? I sat down and I did this process for myself. What is it that I want to build? Where am I at right now? What are the steps it's going to take to get there? I'm not going to share those with you right here, right now, because I shared all of that on that episode. But go check out episode 1 of the book build for The American Dream or Lie, where I broke that down for you myself, writing it down. I actually did these things to get me to the place of being able to write a best selling book. As I move forward on that, I'm going to continue to follow that process, and you guys are going to watch me build a best selling book. I guarantee you. I want to take a minute though, as you guys are thinking about what your goals are, how can you practically, what's a practical step of advice that I could give you for putting action behind what your big goal is? Probably if you're here building wealth. Well, being here on the episodes, I'm so grateful that you're here. This is probably a great place to start. Reading some great books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, going through the book reports of this and other books that we've gone through. That's a great step in the right direction. But some easy to do steps right here, right now, is to go to the description of this episode, no matter where you're watching it, and check out the Wealth Health Checkup as well as the Wealthy Legacy Journey resources page. On the Wealth Health Checkup, we talk about the 3 big steps to mastering your financial framework, right? Creating positive cash flow is step number 1. Step number 2 is creating positive net worth. Step number 3 is creating positive buying power. And we dig into all these different ways. You go in, you fill the numbers for yourself, and you can see where am I strong and where am I weak, because the whole thing automatically color codes itself. It's on a Google sheet. It's really, really cool. I use it for myself, my family. We look at that, and I want you guys to be able to use it too. So go there, check it out. And in that, it even shows you, it breaks down even different income types. One of the things that we talk about is there's 4 different income types: active income, active investment income, passive investment income, and passive income. And so you can type in the different types of incomes that you have, and you can see, okay, not only do I need to create more positive cash flow in my life, but in what areas of my income are strong and what areas of my income are weak. So I know, okay, hey, maybe I specifically need to focus on active investment income. What tools and resources are there around me in the world to help me create more active investment income? Eventually, that'll be Double Dare Your Money. Eventually, that could be the American Dream or Lie as you get your mindset right, and all these different tools that we build. So go check out the Wealth Health Checkup. The Wealth Legacy Journey resource page also has all the books that we reference through the show that have helped me in my own wealth legacy journey, other people's video and podcast content that I have personally learned from, lots of helpful tools and resources that either we've built or we've attached to other people have built, and outstanding life-changing principles and quotes. So make sure you check out the Wealth Health Checkup. Make sure you check out the Wealthy Legacy Journey resource page. Another quote that you're going to find on that Wealthy Legacy resource page, the one that I got this last week, was from Mother Teresa. She said, never worry about numbers, help one person at a time, and always start with the person nearest you. Delivering value is all about positively impacting people in the world around you. Money follows value. Value follows action. Action follows mindset. So you have to get your mindset right. If you have your mindset right, you're going to be able to do the right actions to create value, and then money is going to simply fall after, is going to follow after the value that you create. Don't mistake the result for the original thing. People didn't just, it's not just that people just wake up one day and they have a bunch of money, right? For the most part, unless I guess you like win the lottery or something like that. But even at that, you did some kind of value. You bought the lottery ticket in order to have the ticket, and then you got paid out in the lottery. You did something to be able to get that money. So think about, how can you deliver value to the world around you? People vote with their dollars. So the more value you can deliver to the world around them, the more the world around you will be willing to give you in the way of dollars, as they vote higher and higher and higher for the amount of value that you deliver. Another outstanding quote from a cool guy who actually wrote this book that I've already talked about a few times. The reason is because I'm writing the book report, or I'm recording the book report for this week, is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. The quote is, control comes from persistence and habit. Control of your mind, control of your finances, control of your direction, right? So one huge way that I'm controlling my finances right now is, we did, through persistence and habit, we did a tax sale in March. We didn't do one in April. We almost did one in May. We're going to go to one again in June. For months, we paid off all of our debts. For months, we built up savings. we are now, I've owned this tax sale lot for months as I've been persistent and pushing through to get this thing on the market. Now I've built a little bit of a framework, a process of how to do this. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to create a habit. I'm going to be persistent in building wealth through this vehicle. I've recorded episodes of the Wealth Legacy Journey for over a year now through the power of persistence and habit. I am working to take control of my life, my finances, my wealth, and my legacy through persistence and habit. So, just so you guys are aware too, some future financial planning that's going on. Libby and I are really excited. Like I said, we should receive about 10 to 15,000 in early June as NK begins to pay out. We currently have 1 month of income on hand due to the structure of how our payment works. So we basically build up this account as we get paid every single week, and then we move that over to like our main account, and it gets spent through the month. And so that just kind of gives us some breathing room as we're rebuilding everything. But I'm really excited because on this next payout, we've decided that we are going to build out the rest of our fully funded emergency fund. So we're going to do a second full month of income set aside on this next payout. And then we are going to basically at that point have 2 Hudson lots left. And as those sell, we're going to use the funds from the sale of those lots to increase our emergency fund by 2 months per lot. So by the time both the rest of the Hudson lots sold and everything for NK is said and done and sold, we will have 6 months of a fully funded emergency fund. And that's just going to be amazing, right? It's going to just relieve so much weight out of our lives to be able to have that cushion in our lives. At that point, in under a year and a half, I guess, when everything closes out, we will have 6 months of emergency fund. We are going to have over 6 figures in assets, whether that be cash or real estate that we're holding. Having done the Wealth Legacy Journey for over a year, starting to work on building, we have all of these assets. Every single video that I record, that's an asset that I can use, and maybe someday I'll figure out how to monetize it. I have lots of ideas for how I can do that. I'm going to continue to build it. Right now, I'm building my brand. I'm building my presence. I'm adding value to the marketplace so that one day people are going to vote for dollars. They're going to vote for me. And that's just how a business works. But the more people vote with their dollars for me, that gives the Wealthy Legacy Journey money, so then I can use that money to improve the quality of the videos, to hire more people, to deliver you guys more value. It's going to be an awesome chain reaction that just help us to build, to give you guys more and more and more value. One last thing I want to share with you guys before we end the episode, though, is that yesterday, the day before, we took the kids to Chuck E. Cheese. What was exciting about this specific time from Chuck E. Cheese? Well, if you guys remember that investment deal, the wholesale deal that I did about a month ago, we ended up making $10,000 from that deal. We took $1,000, 10% of that deal, we moved it over to fund money. We don't get fund money in our budget outside of the money that the waterfalls over from the investment money that we make. That's the only place that our fund money comes from. That money is absolutely precious to us. We don't take our hard-earned dollars, though, that I go to work for every day and turn that into fund money. That just goes to staying alive. Then we create this positive cash flow, anyways, buy some investments, and then when those investments pay out, that's how we get fund money. I've talked about that a whole bunch. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm not going to go too much into the weeds. But it was so cool. I can't even remember how much it cost. I think it cost like $50. I didn't even care because I got that $10,000 so easy. Right now, with the amount of money that I make, it would take me like a month and a half, 2 months to make $10,000. But I made that $10,000 in less than probably 5 hours of work by delivering the value that I delivered in the manner and in the way that I was able to deliver that value. It didn't even feel like I was spending my money because it was so easy to get that money. So many of these authors talk about that perspective through the different books. That's one of the things we're going to talk about in the American Dreamer line. Look, I don't want to sound like a jerk when I say that, because we have put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and pain into getting to this point. I say that to encourage you that if you do the right steps, if you set the right goals, if you truly know where you're at right now and you set the right micro steps, the goals, the steps it's going to take to get from here to there, you can get here too. That's the whole point of the Wealth Legacy Journey. That's going to be what we're talking about in the American Dreamer Lie. That's the whole purpose of Double Dare Your Money. Everything that we're doing here is to get you to where you want to go. Let's pray right quick. Lord, thank you so much for all the things that you're doing. I pray that you would empower Libby and I as a couple to build a business that could really help people to break free of the financial weight and worry that so many of us live under, and give a very clear roadmap for how to build true wealth, how to be able to build enough wealth that you take off the pressures of life, you can breathe again, that we can build enough wealth to do what we were called to do and live a life filled with purpose instead of a life filled with worry and anxiety. To give us the freedom to live and give the ways that you call us to live and give. Would you give me wisdom to help know how to guide this whole thing where you want it to go? Would you give every single viewer right now the wisdom to know how do they guide their life in the direction that you want them to go in order to have freedom, in order to have a life that is absent from the fear and the worry of not having enough, because they have discipline and they have wisdom as strong cornerstones of their life. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I want to remind you guys, let's do the identity mantra together because it's so powerful. I'm going to say it first. You say it after me. I explore the unknown. I conquer new frontiers. My journey is powerful and my wake is a wealthy legacy. It's awesome, guys. And remember, wealthy is the ability to cover your monthly expenses without having to lift a finger. That's it. We're not talking about crazy amounts of money. We're just talking about how much would it take to live every single month without having to lift a finger, to take that weight off so you could do whatever it is that you're called to do. And legacy is leaving a long-lasting impact on others who come after you as they receive the fruit of your labor, whether that fruit be good or bad. The way we produce good fruit: plant good seeds, cultivate good trees. Those trees create good fruit. Just like if you planted an apple seed and you cultivate it, you took care of it, it would eventually produce apple fruit. So with that said, guys, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. It helps out the algorithm. I'd love to get you more content just like this. As a reminder, in the description of the episode, there's going to be the links to the resources doc as well as the wealth health checkup. Both of those are absolutely outstanding. I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into researching stuff. Those have helped me in my own personal finances. I think they're going to really help you in your own personal finances. With all that said, guys, this has been another episode dedicated to you and your own personal wealthy legacy journey. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Go out there this week. Simply take the right next step this week and even this day, today. I can't wait to hear about your success story very soon. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody.